right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Double T British Kennels. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
Sweet dogs, great in the house, and they are phenomenal hunting dogs. So if you're needing a new puppy for this coming waterfowl season, check them out. BritLabs.com.
Holler at Corey, he's a great guy. With us today from the great state of Kansas, Mr. Bobby Guy. Bobby, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about you, boys?
Are the Chiefs going to run it back this year? There it is.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me? It's going to be it's exciting, man. Definitely not a bandwagon guy. Born and raised with my daddy. We got to see handful of years back the first big win, big Super Bowl, and me and my dad, I never thought me and my dad would ever get to honestly experience it, because it's been a lot of years watching my dad throw shit at the TV. So
the Chiefs were heartbreakers for a long time. I grew up a Chief fan from back in Lynn Dawson, Ed Podolak days when I was a little kid. And then they brought in Joe Montana, was going to be the savior. They just couldn't quite get over the hump. And then they got Dick Vermeil, and they couldn't get over the hump. And the boy from Texas is a wonder, Patrick Mahomes.
Raider power, baby.
But 3 in a row is going to be really hard to do.
Raider? Did you say Raider power?
Raider power.
Oh, my God. You're wearing red, dude. Raiders. Dude, Raiders is like, hey, it is literally the biggest no-no here in Kansas. That's for sure.
Red Raider from Tech. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
that's what they say. Raider power.
Gotcha.
No.
I thought you were talking about Oakland or something like that.
No. No.
Whoa.
They don't have a prayer. No, Raider power. Greatest quarterback.
Right.
Greatest quarterback in the league. Probably, if he wins another Super Bowl. Greatest quarterback ever. He's
debatable on that. Definitely.
He's getting up there with Brady and a Texas Tech guy. Go Red Raiders.
Yeah. Me and Douglas Spells talked about this today because he's like, right now the Chiefs are the favorite. And I'd say so. I'd just say the odds against them. But you're in a division now that's got Bo Nix quarterbacking, Aiden O'Connell quarterbacking, and Justin underachieving Herbert. And that's it.
Yeah.
So they should have home field advantage in the playoffs because they shouldn't lose but about 3 games at the max. But if something happens to Patrick Mahomes,
let's
whoa. Well, that's the factor though. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
that's
every
the one.
team can
That's
say
right.
that.
Well, that's what
Look
I'm
at
saying.
The Jets.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I think the biggest competition, if I have to pick right now who's going to the Super Bowl and leave out the Chiefs, because I'm not picking the Chiefs because I just don't. Three-peat's almost impossible. I would take the Houston Texans. And probably Philadelphia right now would be my 2 choices to go to the Super Bowl.
I was going to say the Eagles for sure.
Yep.
That's for sure. I don't know. It's been crazy. You're born and raised just being a fan and heartbreakers. That's a perfect explanation for so many years. Also, or shit in the first half, come back in the second. Awesome in the first half, shit in the second. I remember Dad, dude. I am not lying. It got to a point in my younger childhood, I wouldn't watch games with him anymore. And I feel like he's became another man, a better man here in the last 5-6 years.
Now, let me ask you this. Rumor is the city of Dallas is going to build a $10 billion sports complex. The Hunt family is from Dallas, Texas. That's where they live. The Chiefs were originally a Dallas, Texas franchise.
Right.
Is Kansas City going to cough up and build a stadium for them, or will the Kansas City Chiefs end up coming to Dallas, Texas for the money?
And again, I'm going to when it comes to Chiefs, I refer to my father a bunch because he stays on top of everything and tells me. There's huge talks about them building in Legends. Do you ever been to Legends in Kansas City? It's outside of the city, probably 10-ish miles, somewhere right there. I think it's west-southwest-ish, or west-northwest, something like that. We stay there all the time. That's where Great Wolf Lodge is, and the Kansas Speedway, the new circle burner track there, asphalt. But it's huge. That place has been booming and blooming and growing and growing and growing. It's an awesome tourist place. Tons of new hotels. Last time we were up there, we're like, why the hell are they building that big ass hotel? Because there's already so many. And the racetrack, honestly, is the only, other than Legends Shopping Center, that's why it's there. The racetrack was the only pole. There is a baseball stadium there. I think they do the soccer team there most of the time, and then whatever baseball team it is, not the Royals, but a minor league deal or something. And there's big talks of them building in Legends, and that would be, there's room, better access, way better departure. There's just room. Where the stadium is right now, not only I feel like now kind of getting into becoming the franchise that we always dreamed to be. Not only do the fans in the community deserve a dome, right? Because Kansas can be pretty brutal too, just like anywhere else. But the access to the place is god awful. I mean, I know every football game's horrible, but Kansas City is just so congested that it creates so many issues. And getting it out there, and Kansas has been wanting to. There's been huge talks about them wanting to put up a ton of money to get it in Kansas. Yeah. So Kansas wants them on home turf for sure.
How many does Arrowhead hold? How many people?
Man, I'm gonna guess.
70,000? Is it that big?
No, it's bigger than that.
70. I was gonna say 70. I was gonna say 70 to. I think it's 70 to 80. I believe.
In a fucking playoff game, there's 70 or 80,000 people trying to leave at the end of that fucking thing.
Yeah, but they sell out every game. Every game. They've sold out for 30 years every game.
Right.
You get the best fan base there is just about outside of maybe Green Bay. I mean, the same people, they ain't got nothing else there. Yeah. What right. sucks is most of these most of these stadiums in the old part of towns are in shitty neighborhoods. So you get a good chance of getting gutted going back and forth to your car. So you move.
You're not fucking
you go to it's like going to Baltimore, If like you go to a football game and a gunfight broke out, I mean, you're in a shitty place. So a lot of these teams are wanting to get away from that, and I don't blame them. They want to get away from the criminal element. So and that would be a shame for Kansas City to lose their team. They need it. I wish these teams in the North would stay with the freaking do away with domes. I hate domes. Fuck yeah. I want to watch football. Yeah. Football's a weather game. Raining, cold, nasty, whatever it is. If you know where they need a dome at? In Arizona, where it's hotter than fuck all the time. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, but football in Arizona should be played outside in the winter because it's not that fucking bad. No. I was at the 30 below game. Me and the wife were, and holy shit, dude.
But that's football.
You could. Yeah, I was there, and I've never. We live out in the cold, all of us, and we're used to it. You could not, and I mean it, you could not drink your beer fast enough. You could not drink it fast enough. It would foam up and freeze out the top. Did you see all them videos, like in the stands, all the beers? Like, it was real, and you couldn't even hold the shit. It was crazy cold. That's a way that doesn't happen all the time, but
that's a home field advantage for you.
No, 100%. I think we were playing Florida.
You're playing Miami. So, that's a big home field advantage, and so that's like Green Bay, and that's like Buffalo. If you make the playoffs in New England, for all them years, Boston's a cold place, miserable cold place. Yeah. Brady and them got to play all their fucking playoff games at home. That's an advantage of getting home field advantage, and I think when you play in a dome, you lose that advantage weather-wise.
Right.
Yeah, being more, just ready for the elements for sure. I think we're real well rounded. I remember always going to Denver when they would play at Denver, and Dad, he fucking all the time, the altitude's gonna get him again. The altitude's gonna get him again. And sure enough, we were blaming it on the shit when they lost every time.
Now, do you have season tickets there?
Yeah.
To the Chiefs games?
Yeah, we've had them for like 5 years ish, somewhere right there.
Was it very hard to get them? Because I know a lot of these, like Green Bay, it's got like this 30-year wait list or whatever. Like, was it that way with the Chiefs?
I think we got on the waiting list. I think it was a year, maybe 2. It was either a year or 2. We got 2 seats. We still. I wish at the time we would have bought fucking 4 seats because I have 2 children, and I think they were like, I think they were 5,000 a piece the first year, and then they showed us the scale how they would go down. Well, what they didn't know, I guess no one knew, is how good the team was going to do the next handful of years and how ticket prices were going to fucking spike. So that number, I think they stayed almost tried and true. I think now we pay like $2,200, $2,500, somewhere there for our seats. But we tried to add two because we knew that the two next to us we wanted to purchase. And that was 2 years ago. And it didn't matter if if you already held seats or not, you weren't getting any discount. I think it was like $7K a piece for those. And those were not going to be $2,300 a year. Right. So like, we still call it date night, going to a game, just us two. But we know everybody around us now, so we kind of, flip the script, and they don't mind that our kids stand in front of us or stand behind us on the chair. Right. So they all have kids too, so it works out pretty good.
I think it would be cool to have like I've seen that movie Fever Pitch where the guy's got the season tickets to the Red Sox games, and like you would have like, especially for baseball, because you get like 60 home games or something.
81.
Astronomical number. So like you're with these people for what, 2.5 months basically?
Fuck, baseball's April through October.
80 days. Almost 3 months, I guess.
Well, it's spread out over a time. But
I understand that.
Yes, three straight months being around somebody.
Right. And like they're there every game and you're there every game, so you develop a relationship with the people that are next to you.
Can you buy, like, I don't know how it works at every place, because you have to buy a personal seat license, don't you, for your tickets at Kansas City? Is that way at PSL?
I have absolutely no idea. The wife took care of it, to be honest. I think and she'd be the one to ask.
For the Cowboy games, I think you have to buy your seat. So you got to buy tickets to everything that happens at
every
that venue.
Concert,
every concert, everything you got to buy tickets for. It's a way of screwing the customer over, basically. But can you buy if you got to be friends with the people next to you and they had 2 tickets, can you buy their tickets, or do they have to go back to the Chiefs and then they sell them?
No, they can give them to you. You just send them the screenshot of that game, and you can you can share it. So when you share it to a certain email, I believe through the app, it puts that name on it, I believe, digitally. So like we've done it with them before. We've hey, are you guys if you're never gonna be here, let us know. We'll pay for your seats because they're right next to us, and we'll flip flop because we don't go. It's hard for us to go to like the Christmas game or the New Year's Day game, stuff like that, especially during the season. I think we tried to do as many as we can. That's a bad thing. It's during the season. Yeah. So getting away is tough. Thank God I got Gerald in there, and they can operate without me here, but it's definitely not a thing I hate. I won't do it. I'll never. I did it when I was young, driving up there to the game and then driving straight back. You can't have any fun. You can't drink your beers, but yeah, it's, I wish it was a little, I wish the season was a little after or before, but,
oh man,
I think we made 5 games last year. 5.
It would be a perfect world if waterfowl season ended right when football season started. I'd love my life. 3 or 4 months of hunting season, and then 3 or 4 or 5 months of football.
Right.
That'd only give me 2 months being bored.
Well, and then you'd be in the debacle of now you can't watch football on Thanksgiving or all the. We love that stuff too. So, yeah, it would be nice for myself if the season started, January 1 or something like that, where we're kind of slowing down.
I saw where I guess today is the release, because they're leaking games all the time.
Yeah.
And I saw where Dallas and the Giants are playing against each other on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. I think is Baltimore and Kansas City opening the season against each other?
Yeah.
That's
what I saw. Yes. Dallas opens against Cleveland in Cleveland. Go Browns.
Tom Brady's first game.
Oh, is he calling that game?
Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
One. So yeah, tonight is the schedule release.
He's really regretting that roast he did.
Why?
Oh my God! I was gonna. Have you guys watched the?
I've seen the clips.
His ex-wife, I guess, got put through the ringer on this thing, and he's embarrassed now because his kids are not happy.
Oh.
Oh, dude, you got to watch the whole Netflix roast. Like it is. I've watched a lot of the roasts, and a lot of those people are funny themselves or comedians or whatever who are getting roasted or just jackasses, so they don't care. Old drug addicts, who knows? But being Tom Brady, the stature of man and person he is, dude, they never let off the gas pedal. It was real. I mean, it was great. But there was times I was just like, holy crap, like
I did see he got up and defended Robert Kraft.
He did.
Somebody made a joke about like getting a massage or something, and Tom Brady stood up and said, "Hey, don't do that shit again." And you can hear him on the microphone.
Oh, he said that he liked Robert Kraft then.
Yeah. He went up there. I think it was oh hell, I can't remember the guy's name now. He does all the roasts, and Tom Brady stood up and was like, "Yeah, don't say that shit again."
He made $10 million to do that.
Oh, really?
Is what Netflix paid Tom Brady was $10 million.
Wow.
He said if he did it all over again, he wouldn't do it because he said, I don't care what they said about me. He goes, I can live with that. But he goes,
no.
And this is coming secondhand from what I read. So I didn't read what he said because I really didn't give two shits. But said that he did not like the way his kids are feeling now towards him after the way they portrayed it. I guess his mom come off as a cheating whore.
Oh, really?
His ex-wife. I guess. I didn't see it.
No, the whole joke. No, not a cheater. It came off as basically the truth of the matter. They obviously exploited, and he was the asshole for leaving the marriage, for leaving his family.
Oh, that's what it was.
She is in a new relationship with a
jiu-jitsu guy.
Jiu-jitsu guy. And that was all like jokes about how the jiu-jitsu guy's just waiting to whoop his ass, and how his ex-wife's fucking some random jiu-jitsu guy now, and like how he abandoned his kids, and it was not a good look for a man like him who's getting ready to be on, not that he already hasn't been on national TV his whole fucking life, but now he's going to be on TV.
Yeah, they said it. He said he would never have done it again. I wish he wouldn't have done it because of the what it's portrayed about his wife and him, his personal relationship.
I wonder if there's like parameters, or if it's just no hold. Like, if
have you been to a roast or listened to him?
But I wonder if Tom Brady's like, listen, let's not talk about this.
There was no rules. It's all Fred. That one guy that does it all the time. I can't.
It
think
was
of
Jeffrey Ross that did
that's the guy.
Robert Kraft joke.
Jeffrey Ross is just he's a little weasel.
He did the Robert Kraft joke.
Was Lisa Lampanelli on there too?
I didn't see her.
No, she wasn't on there.
Fucking crude, boy.
There was two that really fucked him up. I can't remember her name. She was the skinny blonde
Nikki
gal.
Glazer?
Yes.
Yes, she was brutal. She was extremely, she was really, really, I didn't expect it when she started. She was really good, but extremely brutal. Lots about wanting to fuck him, and
I guess I'm gonna have to watch this now.
Talking about his package, and and then there was a black lesbian gal who was funny, but just so genitalia graphic. I guess, just the shit that came out of her mouth was so explicit. It wasn't even. There was points I'm like, you really chose that out of all fucking shit you could have done. Just something so vulgar that you'd have to be a little fucked up in the head to think it's funny. I mean, honestly.
And you're right though. He was the all-American boy, and this did not portray him in that light.
No.
And I don't know why he did it. He don't need the money.
Right. That's what I was always like. Why would anybody subject themselves to a roast? But I guess $10 million gets a lot of people to do silly things. But he's got more money than he knows what to do with already.
But
have you seen the ones like on Shaq?
I've seen.
Oh, he's funny. That was funny as shit. There's been a lot of those. I watched the one on Pam Anderson. It was funny as hell. But Tom Brady is he's a different person. He's the all-American boy.
Those people were like like Pam Anderson's like past her prime. Like she needs a reason to get back in the
tapes. He had nothing to live.
But she needed something to get back in the limelight. Right. Tom Brady's already there.
Well, Shaq didn't need to either. But they did one on Shaq, and it was pretty funny. But Tom,
I think one thing. I think the first thing that comes to mind to me, the 10 million's one thing, and that's just basically like a thank you card. I think the biggest thing, probably the reason why he thought it would be a good idea, was genuinely the marketing value that he's going to get before he goes on television and whatever else he's got whatever cats he's got in the bag, business wise, probably going to be coming out. I would say it was a marketing, capable type of deal for him, but, because everyone's talking about it.
100%.
That's the thing. Everybody's talking about it.
Did you see?
Either
a week later, we're still
either you
talking
do a
about
sex tape or
a roast.
Well, the big sports thing going on right now is the big beef with Shaquille O'Neal and Shannon Sharp. Now, Shannon Sharp's an in-shape sumbitch, but he ain't whooping Shaq's ass. He made a comment about Shaq or something. Shaq done tweeted back on his ass and told him, said, "Listen, I don't even know you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to compare things to me." He said, "I'm top 10 in everything I've ever done, and you're not."
That's not accurate.
I'm just telling you what Shaq said.
Shannon Sharp was a good football player. He was in the Hall of Fame.
He is, but is he one of the greatest receivers of all time?
He was tight end.
I understand that. I'm just telling you what Shaq said. I ain't getting in the middle of their beef.
He definitely, Shannon Sharp wasn't the face of the world in his genre,
Right.
bigger type of personality for sure amongst
folks. I don't know what their beef is, but I like Shaq. Shaq comes across as a really good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon's always stirring up shit.
Dude, marketing, dude. Beef sells, just like Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Yeah.
I'm not a big rap guy, but goddamn, you had to hear about it because everybody's talking about it, just like the fucking roast. Everything is a marketing capability for these folks. They have to do these things. They have to put themselves out on Front Street. They got to have a beef that's fake as shit, just like Jake Paul hating everybody and making a shit ton of money off of it. Marketing. Drama. People want drama. That's how it's always been. It doesn't matter if it's fucking waterfowl hunting or basketball. Drama. Everybody loves talking shit on LeBron for being a flop daddy. So, like the haters, what else you can say? Well, I guess he's good at this. No, he fucking flops all over the floor like a damn carp. So
his son is
drama, dude.
The deal he's doing with his son is going to be a downfall on him, I think, because his son, I'm not a basketball guy. His son is 6'1.5". He can't score. And they're going to make him a first-round draft pick. Somebody will draft him because LeBron, and LeBron's making this. It's not fair to his son. I feel sorry for his son because his son is going to be a one and done in the NBA, but someone's going to take a chance on him just for his dad. It just makes him look bad. And there's no sense in that. Kid seems like a good kid. He should have went to college for 3 more years, enjoyed the college life. If he grows 3 or 4 inches, maybe he'd have a chance to play in the NBA. Go live your life, be a billionaire son, and have fun without all the pressure your dad's putting on you for no reason at all. And that's all that's Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. I hope Mike Tyson whips his ass. But everybody says if I watch that Netflix special on Jake Paul, you'll really like him.
Right. And yes, Conor McGregor, why is he Conor? Today is Conor McGregor, same thing. Conor was the first one to really induce shit talking, drama, fighting just in the face-to-face press the day before the fights. He was the first one to talk all the shit, make it a big deal, be pissed off, and fake it most of the time. And I can tell you right now, Jake Paul seen it, and Jake Paul is very smart. Very, 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 very. He's very smart in what he does. He may not be smart across the board, but he is very smart, just like Andrew Flair, the one that helped me. And what he does, stupid smart and very motivated, his brother now, Logan, that motherfucker can eat shit. That dude's just a bad person, 100%. I've watched a handful of podcasts and then over the years of just who he is. And that guy is not talented. Honestly, he's the older brother, and now he's been piggybacking off of Jake for a long time. Jake is very smart, intelligent, and he means well. But again, the marketing appearance in public needs to be beef. Beef sells.
Yeah, I guess Conor McGregor was kind of the first UFC fighter that made people want to tune into the press conferences. Especially when he was doing that Jose Aldo fight 6-7 years ago. Like, they did this worldwide press tour, and like everybody was waiting to see what Conor McGregor was going to say.
Yeah, so you remember dude, how many different fucking press, big, huge. It looked like damn Woodstock events did Mayweather and McGregor did. They traveled all over the fucking world before that fight and made, my God, made ridiculous amounts of money. Now, that relationship, I think a lot of that shit talking was real. I think, Mayweather, everything I've seen on Mayweather, is he one of the most beautiful fighters in the world? Absolutely. He is fucking clean. I mean, you cannot talk shit on his game. Intelligence wise, you're going to bury the guy. You're going to bury the guy. So I think that real aspect of who he actually is brought a ton of entertainment to this shit where Conor would just absolutely destroy the guy. Yeah. Before the fight, they made a ton of money. Yeah,
Conor's very, very smart. Conor's just teeing off on Floyd Mayweather. And like you said, Mayweather, he doesn't have two brain cells to rub together. Like, he's not going to come back at Conor with anything of substance that's going to hit Conor.
He is not educated.
But it sold that fight. I watched the fight. I'm going to watch the Jake Paul fight. Conor's fighting in June. He hasn't started talking shit yet, or July maybe. He'll start talking shit here in about another 2 weeks, and he'll probably make me buy that fight.
Oh yeah, I think I seen something, I think yesterday about UFC 303, and it's already like, I don't know how to put it, proven or scheduled or looked at to be the highest payout across the board on pay-per-view sales and fighter pay. I think that the payout was like, for McGregor already, whether he loses or wins, was, I'm going to sound stupid, but it was
I thought 30 million.
80 million.
Is it 80?
Yeah, 30 million, 40 million. I think I think you're at 30 or 40 million already.
Here.
That's insane.
Here it is. It is right here. If I can pull it up in time. UFC 303 is the highest gate in the company already. And I mean, we're still, I think it's July 27th or something like that. $20 million gate. So, it just, everybody's waiting for Conor McGregor to come out. Conor McGregor's kind of got to that point where people already rooted against him, but I think a lot of people are really rooting against him this time because he's going against that Michael Chandler, who's kind of done everything right. Kind of the good, the baby face and the heel, if you want to talk wrestling terms. June 29th is when it is. So, yeah, you'll start seeing Conor McGregor. You'll start seeing some tidbits coming out here pretty quick.
He's gonna overdo it quite a bit because, again, back to the marketing. He just bought into and became, I don't know how much of an owner of the BFC, or BKC, whatever, bare knuckle, BKF, bare knuckle fighting league. Have you seen that yet?
I've seen some clips and it looks brutal. Lots of cuts.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody.
Yeah, I think they're just taped. I think the wrists are taped, and that sport, unlike fucking slap boxing, I hope grows. Slap, that's shit. I love Dana and what he's done. Dana is one of the smartest men in the world to basically enslave people to fight each other in a cage, I guess, like when you put it in layman's terms. But that wasn't good. For the fighting should be a respectable sport. Conor was the one to bring beef into it. The slapping shit, like, now you're just intriguing fucking teenagers drunk at a damn house party to do the shit and knock each other's brain cells out.
Yeah, that I see clips of that, and I can't get behind that. That doesn't seem. It doesn't. I don't know why anybody. How do you even train for that? Do you just go get the shit slapped out of you and see how much you can take and be like, oh yeah, you'll be good at slap boxing. Go do that.
I hope you're a dumb motherfucker before you decided to start doing it,
because you're definitely going to be whenever you if you ever retire, you're going to have you're going to have your brain cells just all fucking discombobulated.
Horrible, dude. That's embarrassing as a fucking American to see. Have you seen the I think it's in Japan or somewhere, they fight in a car. They're locked in a car.
I think I have seen, they're all seat belted in and everything, and
yeah, they gotta undo the seatbelt and then they go after each other and shit.
Yeah, I have seen that.
And it's a whole league
of fighting.
It's
in
an
a car.
actual thing. It's a league, just like arm wrestling used to be. Unreal.
Weird times that we're in. So since I can't remember the last time we had you on here. It's been a while. We were still doing it over the phone. You've opened up, you got an outfit now in Kansas. How's that been? How has it been transitioning? Because, and we were talking earlier, and we'll kind of get into some different things, but you were the hunter on YouTube, and then now you got an outfit. So now you got people paying to come see you. How has it been changing hats, I should say?
I think first of all, the personality on YouTube, up till the outfitter, if I'm going yo or just the personality, kind of a flamboyant personality per se, that was all what I learned from Andrew Flair, the guy that taught me. So the videos were just videos, and the hunting, doing those videos, what is still what it is today to me, which is taken very extremely seriously, safety conscious at all times, having 3 plans, and providing every day back then, because I was helping Gerald, my right hand man, and a couple other guys. I was helping them run hunts for their services here and there, because it got to where I would have a handful of hunts and I'm just here to make videos. Mm-hmm. So Gerald would be like, "Hey dude, I'll give you $250. Like we go to your field, you can make your video and we can hunt together," because we're already really good friends. I think it all happened really naturally, and a big factor to it all, to kind of, I hate to admit it, but kind of letting go of YouTube. Mm-hmm. And focusing, on the service is my baby. They should be well maintained and managed at all times. And letting go of YouTube happened right. It was a natural turn, but in that turn was when I got demonetized on YouTube, and when that happened, it was all in a turn together. So it just gave me the reason to do what I was wanting to do for a long time, and not have to fucking worry about being Bobby on YouTube so much, and focusing on what I loved, why I loved, and that's taking people hunting. I love taking people hunting. So even if a video is being made or not, I'm not going to have a camera in my hand. I'll tell you right now, you can't. Mm-hmm. You can't hunt and fucking video and run a dog and do it all correctly. No way. I'm not going to hold that straight. I've tried it the first couple years, and the first year I tried it, and then I had Preston with me for a while, and he filmed and edited. And then this year I had Brandon, and he killed it. He really did a great job. Preston always did a great job. This year, I just never had to, and I didn't have to with Preston, touch a camera, touch a battery, charge anything, edit anything. I think just growing into it and having somebody film was just so nice. I could actually be myself, which is serious, informative, funny when I wanted to be, but more or less, I could be serious most of the time, like I wanted to. Right. On the videos, you're trying to be an entertainer or something, and you don't look serious. And I was like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna hold. I know all these people that book, most of them are from YouTube, and that's awesome. But I'm not gonna holding the camera, walking around, filming them all the time, And it just didn't feel. I feel like I'm older now, and I don't believe that's an excuse. I'm not young enough mentally to be that person much anymore. I'm just not. And we had an accident this year in the field. Obviously, it wasn't our fault. Client, nothing fatal or anything like that, but a wound, put it that way. And it really, even though you take it as serious as you can, and you give those safety instructions every fucking day, no matter if it's the same field, no matter if it's the same blind, no matter if they think that they've done it 100 times, you give that safety speech. And this year we did have that injury, and it really tore me up, man. It tore me up a lot. because that was something that I was like, well, that'll never happen here. I have kids, and I know how safety conscious we all are.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a huge turning point. I don't want to say we needed it, because we were already better than a lot of places that I've been, put it that way. But it really opened my eyes. I'm like, holy shit. Okay, whoa. We do have 10 guns out here every day, 15 guns out here every day. This is the first year I did not run A-frames. I won't run A-frames ever again in my life.
Really?
Yeah. How many guns have you seen fall over every fucking hunt?
Yeah.
I won't do it anymore. I'm not putting myself at danger and anybody else just because people aren't fucking paying attention and doing what they're told.
Is that what happened? Did a gun go sideways?
No, we were laying in the spread, laying in a white small spread shooting ducks. And it was a heavy overcast, misty morning, kind of flurry mist, but that when it was misting, man, your hands were just fucking gone. I mean, it was only like 30 degrees, but that north wind, your hands were gone. And he wasn't a green hunter. Him and his dad came from Georgia. They had saved up their money, been wanting to come for a long time. Super excited. This was their second day. The first day they hunted big water out of layouts. There was a couple premature shots that I was like, whoa, hey, whoa. And they were like, oh shit, sorry, and some other guys did it too. And I was like, all right, we're just getting warmed up here, because I had realized, whoa, all these guys, especially them, literally all them guys, we had a mixed group of guys, and they're either from North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina over there. And they were used to sitting by a willow or a tree and shooting wood duck. And when you put a guy on his back for the first time, they're so uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's a learning curve.
Yes, it's a learning curve, especially. And so we were laying in the spread, and he had the gun across his lap. And the muzzle of that gun was right in the inside crease of his foot. Oof. And unfortunately, and we played it play by play. Me and Gerald went through it, because Gerald was actually guiding that hunt. I was guiding another one. And the only way, and he even admitted it, I believe, the only way that exact thing happened was the gun was laying on his lap with the safety off. So the gun went off, and the muzzle was pressed up against the inside of his muck boot. Gerald was like, dude, the hole going in looked like you took a knife and just kind of stabbed it. He was like, that bottom though, there were tendons were tendons all over the ground and whatnot. So it sucked, that sucked. I was worried for him, and the airline wouldn't let him fucking fly home because he had a drainage bag on his leg. So he had to ride 20 hours, 18 hours home in an F-150 with his dad. And I did the best I could, making it right. And I was like, you're coming next year for free on me. I don't want this to be
right.
And he was extremely embarrassed. Yeah. He was 23, 24 years old, not a kid, right. He was extremely embarrassed. And I was like, dude, don't. And that was the main thing. Like, he actually started going into shock in the field, and thank God the paramedic Gerald handled it so well. If I learned anything from that, if any guides are watching this, if I learned anything from that day, if you have an accident in a field, it is not your duty. You're going to put yourself at more risk. Let's tread a thin line here. If it's a life-threatening issue and you believe you can get them to the hospital and it's that necessary, okay. But don't overthink anything. Call the fucking cops right away. Just call the cops. Don't be Superman.
Right.
Just don't, because there's a lot of other things when you're talking about getting sued that come into effect when you move that person. Right. So by God's will, we had another guy there. They did not know each other. It was a mixed group, like I had said. And he was a fucking 48-year-old limb surgeon.
Oh, shit.
In the field with this boy. Yeah. by God's grace, we had a fucking limb surgeon as a client, his first time, both of their first times ever being here in the field together on that situation.
Wow.
It doesn't happen like that. It's not supposed to happen that easily. So, that just bugged. I hate it. It really hurt us, helped us in the long run, hurt us in the, but yeah, I don't know how I got out on the rabbit trail there, but
it's a dangerous sport. We had an accident out here probably 20 years ago, similar situation. We were laying out, same type thing. And we had these ghillie blankets on and same thing. He came up to shoot. The gun had got like wrapped up in the ghillie blanket, and luckily he had one BB go through the very like tip of his toe. Blew off. He had a hole in the tip of his boot.
He had steel-toed work boots.
Yeah, but just one little BB. You could see he's hunted out here several times since then. He came out dove hunting after that. So happened in November, December, January, one of those months. He came out 9 months later in September, showed us his toe, and it looks like he's just got like a little half moon on the very tip of his toe. But it could have been, 3 inches lower, and you got no toes left. So and seasoned hunter just got his fingers were cold, didn't put the gun on, got tangled up.
I'll tell you what they did. The company that he works for, they took his boot and they had it bronzed, and they gave him the bronze boot award up here the next year.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Just a little bit of sick humor among guys, but it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a very, very fine line that we tread every single day that we're out there.
If you have an accident and you're an outfitter, the first thing you need to do is call 911 immediately. And
don't be
and
Superman.
if you think he's going to bleed out, get him in the vehicle and try to get him to the hospital as soon as possible. If he's not and he's stable, call 911. But do what's best for that guy right there. Don't worry about the cops coming. Don't worry about getting in trouble. Save that man's life if you have to, but call 911 immediately and let them get some help your way. We live in a world today where they've got medical helicopters. We've got all kinds of GPS locations on your phone. Get somewhere. Like we have a network here because we can call me and I'm usually within 15 minutes of being somewhere, or I can get somebody there really fast. And most of our hunting is within 20 minutes of a hospital anyways, whether we go to Haskell or Knox City. Right. But a lot of people are not nowhere by a hospital. But if you'll call 911 immediately, you might save that guy's life because they might have a helicopter in the air and have a helicopter to get him stable before he bleeds out.
Right. And I believe, if I'm not incorrect here, so we weren't hunting in my hometown. My hometown's... Oh, yep. It went blank for a minute.
Good. We got you.
You're good. We got it, Jim.
But we're in a small town, and I think the volunteers in small towns, had showed up first. So the volunteer paramedics and volunteer firefighters that are in that small community. So shout out to all the volunteers, because I don't think people understand. When you're not in rural development areas or cities, and when you're 20, 30 minutes out, that's enough time to die. And volunteers save a lot of lives out in the country. I got in a motorcycle wreck when I was 20. I think I was 20. We were riding to the lake at night, just cruising, not doing anything fucking stupid. Summertime, there was like 5 or 6 of us, and halfway there-ish, deer jumped out in front of me. I locked him up. We were rolling like 65 mile an hour down paved country road, and locked him up and went over the front. Didn't hit the deer, avoided the deer, but just completely wadded it up. And they had to life watch me from that spot. My own uncle was a volunteer paramedic / firefighter. He didn't even fucking recognize me putting me into the goddamn helicopter. So again, volunteers save lives. It's a big thing out here where I'm at, especially for wildfires, because we have a shit ton of them this time of year, and probably before last 2 months. But Volunteers are everything, especially out in the country.
We just had this discussion. The government's now wanting to start regulating the volunteer fire departments. They're wanting to tell them they got to have OSHA standards, and they don't. They're messing with a great thing, because volunteer firemen, and it depends on what size community. If you're in a small town, you're going to have a smaller fire department with older equipment usually. If you go to a bigger volunteer fireman, they're going to have better equipment and better stuff, but still volunteers. But they're saving lives, and our federal government does not need to get involved with that. And everything they touch turns to crap. But they are wanting to start controlling these volunteer fire departments, and we don't need that. First of all, these guys are not going to want to volunteer if they got the federal government tell them what they need to do.
And didn't you read it's like 100 hours of training?
Yeah, they want to do
like 10.
8 hours of training is normal what a volunteer fireman has to go through now to be a volunteer fireman, and it's all conducted by their own fire department. The federal government's went to make it 108 hours. Well, how many of those guys have 12 days or 14 days to go for 2 weeks at 8 hours a day to go to classes? They don't. They're not taking their vacation deal to go to fireman school. Mm-mm. They're not doing that. And that's just typical way of our government screwing up shit all the time.
Yeah, they want to make it a little harder for us smart folks in the out in the country. You know, it's they're like, oh shit, they're too smart. Shit, we got to get at them a little bit.
Let's put some regulations on them.
Yeah, they're too self-sustainable.
make it harder on these people. Have you had the client that because like you said, the Bobby guy that you see on YouTube is not the Bobby guy in real life. Like, sorry to lift the veil for people that thought that you were that guy all the time, but because I've had it out here. We've got the podcast and we get hunters and they're like, man, you're not at all like I thought you would be. Because I'm naturally pretty quiet and kind of reserved, and I'm not. But like, I can't be quiet and reserved on a podcast. It's not going to go very fucking far. So I got to talk. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. You got to be your character. And there's time, like, I'll be honest, like, a lot of our return groups, just the way it is. When you get to know folks, you can be yourself more. Yeah. You can to go, hey, Rob, fuck you, or anything like that, So I get my breaks. I would say, the one thing that bothers me the most that I hear, man, before I did this, before I started the service, I would travel to buddies' services or this guy or that guy and go film and, promote their service and just for letting me come out and make videos or whatever. And I don't necessarily think I've ever, and I don't mean to get at the young guys, but I think a lot of them need to hear this because I've heard it too much out of younger guys. Midway through the season, end of the season, God damn, I don't even want to go in that fucking lodge. I'm just sick of clients. What the fuck did you just say? Right. They're paying your bills. They're spending retarded amounts of money to come hunting. Mm-hmm. This isn't fucking Disney World, and they're paying the same price as it is for fucking Disney World. And you're going to sit here and say that you're sick of being around clients or they're annoying or they ask too many fucking questions. Well, if they were sitting here with Mickey Mouse, wouldn't they ask some fucking questions? Like that's bothering. If you feel that you have the right to say that shit, you need to go find another goddamn job because you're wasting people's fucking hard-earned money that want to come here and have a great experience. So that's something that the younger guides, because I know that there's a lot of them out there. And there's good ones. There's bad ones. There's fucking shitty ones. There's lazy ones. There are the good ones, though. I've met a lot of them. And I think that's a word that any owner, any out there, any owner needs to spread to their crew. Hey, dude, we control the entire, the whole system while these guys are here for 3 days. Like, we, as a team, need to make it enjoyable. We need to be happy. They don't need to see us arguing or disputing or not getting along or feuding or talking about drama behind people's fucking backs in the lodge, and that's one thing I truly pride, is that there would never, if this place ever got possessed by an evil force like that shit, I'd fucking end it. Mm-hmm. I'd end it. I would not do it. And I think that me and Gerald, going back to Gerald, we're blood brothers. It's going to be that way till the day we die. And we love and truly fully respect each other. We would never battle each other for any stupid reason. We do bring up differences and we get them done. But Gerald is a true, I gotta give Gerald a lot of credit, because he's trained me to just be better every day, with our service and providing for folks. Because I'll get in a funk, I will get in a funk, and I admit it. I get pretty pissed off when I'm on day 3, getting fucked by these geese. It gets pretty, and it's hard to not say, God damn it, these motherfuckers pick this shit up and shit. Aaron and Gerald, they are 2 guys that dedicated their lives to this sport way before me. And so their knowledge passing on to me through the years, because they know Bob's the boss, but I take that. I take their opinions a lot of times over mine. And that's not because I don't know as much. We all run beautiful hunts and we all provide beautiful plans here, but just the respect and value that this has to be a family place. Like, people need to come here and go, that was awesome. Those guys were in the lodge with us, drinking whiskey till 11 every night, having a good time. They answered all of our questions. They give each other so much shit. Man, I'm going to bring Tom and Roy next year. They'd love it. That's what you want people leaving with. And I know this sounds horrible, but I don't hire young people. I don't give a shit if they're cheap. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I won't hire young guys unless I personally know them and they're proven to me personally, like one of my local buddies or something. I would never, and I know it sounds demeaning or not fair, but you only have so much room for so much help, and I'll be damned if I'm going to worry about Tommy being depressed because his girlfriend's at home bitching at him because he's been gone for a month and a half. I've been down the road of young. I used to cut wheat from here to Canada, and I remember being gone a lot, and it was hard. It's the boss always has to deal with the shit. So,
the guys from Canada are the one that we always notice. The guys that start out mid-August, they go up to Canada, hunt September, October. It's a grind because it's a lot of miles in Canada. Hate to break it to a lot of you DIY guys that put Canada on a pedestal. Canada's a very special place, but you're going to scout your ass off. And it is not like, Kansas or Texas where, everything's, I'm assuming, fairly condensed where you are. I know it is where we are. Everything's pretty well condensed. Canada is spread out and you're putting in a lot of miles. So you're putting a lot of hours.
You're right.
And it's always that guy that goes up there August 20th, hunts September, October, comes back around Halloween. And then we start here November 5th, November 6th. So you've had a week off, kissed your girlfriend. Maybe you had a new puppy, saw your parents for a minute, and now you're back out here until end of January. So those are always the guys that you see that kind of have that little attitude towards after New Year's. January is always the hardest month. That's just kind of when that's when the monkey gets on your back. And I've always said it this way, November you got a Thanksgiving break coming up, Christmas, December you got Christmas coming up, so you get these little breaks, and there's just something about when January rolls around, like that's where you separate the men from the boys.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, and it's like you don't have any. Even you talk about Thanksgiving to Christmas, that's a month long, and but November Thanksgiving to Christmas. It's not it doesn't feel like a month, but like when you get to January, you're like, ooh, shit, I got a whole nother month of this. And like, if it's a warm winter, you're hunting stale birds. And that's when you separate the guides is January.
Anybody that's ever worked for me in 30 plus years of guiding, anybody that went to Canada and guided before is not worth the shit after Christmas here. Ever. They're wore out.
Right.
They're good guys. They're just wore out. I mean, they get here wore out. They're tired when they get here.
Or if they spring snow goose hunted in the spring and then took the summer off and then went to Canada and came down here, that's a lot of hunting. I mean, that's a lot of miles and a lot of hours that you put in. And I mean, but you know, and we've got a saying out here. It might be day 75 for us. It's day 1 for these people that got here.
Right.
And they're only going to have day 1, 2, and 3, and then they're out the door.
You're in the entertainment business.
That's it. Dance monkey. Like that's what you're here to do.
And even when you're in, this is adding to that. Even when you're in great spirits, you know, I hate. I guess it's a pride thing too, if you control it. But there's a lot of guys, you know, that know me and they're returners, and they show up and they're like, "Damn, Bob, you look fucking tired, dog.
I am.
Y'all look fucking tired, you know." Like, yeah, we are, but we're good. We got 5 options for tomorrow, Tom. We're going, you know. I think, again, back to Gerald and Aaron and Bert, we're solid. They've been with me the whole time, and Gerald, he's just a staple, man. He's a crazy different, just a different man, you know. Not saying that I don't love hunting as much as he does, but that guy, he would much rather help anybody that he doesn't know rather than somebody close to him. And I mean that in all the right ways, I guess. He's just giving. He's so giving. And I, coming into this, you know, coming out of YouTube, all those, you know, handful of years, all the shit talking. When I came into this, I was extremely defensive, very defensive for all the wrong reasons, pulling in all that stupid people just with their thumbs, bullshit talking, commenting, blah, 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 blah. Kind of pulled it in and really had an attitude for a long time. And I think the attitude was fueled by kind of like, nope, that guy, you know, local guys, like, time to prove them wrong. They said the gay YouTuber couldn't do it. Right. Well, let's saddle up, you know. And there was a lot that was a fuel. All these local dudes, I'm not even going to say any fucking names because they can eat shit. They can eat shit, and they fueled the entire thing, you know. And now it comes around Robin. Oh, fucking Bob and Gerald's taking all my shit. It's getting harder. Da da da. Well, you were the fucking fuel, dude. You poured it on the fire. That's not my fault. If you want your competitor to beat your ass, or if you don't want your competitor to absolutely whoop your ass, don't talk shit on them. Don't talk shit. I mean, but I think now, you know, it's any business. I've always heard year 4 and 5 should be getting to that well-oiled machine, and we were already seeing that in year 3 for sure, and then 4 and 5 have been. Last year, the only stressful thing last year was the moisture. We had I don't remember the last waterfowl season in my 18-20 years of doing it ever that wet all winter long, all fall and winter. It was insane. We got 2 10-inch snows. We got a handful of 2 to 3 inches, and then we got rain all in between all that shit. And there was, I think, 2 days, two hunts was all that we were able to pull a truck and trailer into a field.
That's hard.
So it was fucking horrible. And what the hunting, you know, Mr. Il Nino, they were right about it. They were right. They hit that shit on the head. They really did. And the hunting was phenomenal. But the input to get it done became a ton more. The planning, the preparation became a ton more. And part of that preparation, the hardest part of it all was being vocal, talking to those farmers and telling them, Dave, dude, I'm going to fuck your field up. I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to hug the edge in my side-by-side or in my Argo, but I got all this shit and 15 people to get out there and back in. I'm going to leave you one track two-wheel track down the side. This is where it's going to be. Are you good with that? Yep, just hug the edge. You're good. Okay. I send them pictures afterwards, like literally right after the hunt, every day. Whoever ran the hunt, hey, make sure you send Tom pictures and call him, please, because I mean, you're talking bad, really fucking bad. And most of them were wheat fields, you know, corn, wheat, milo wheat, but a lot of them were just bare wheat fields. Those bare wheat fields started holding sheet water like we rarely get, and we fucked a lot of fields up. A lot of people like to talk shit about it, but we paid the man. We paid him for his time. We paid him for his land, and he knew.
Yeah, you're up front with it.
Covering all your bases. Yes, you're up front, extremely up front. And you go into it almost trying to get them to tell you no.
Yeah. Tell me I can't hunt here.
Right? Yep, just listen. It's going to be bad, you know.
Yeah.
But are you sure? Okay. I'll send you pictures. Well, you don't need to do that. No, I'll send you pictures. Yeah. You don't want to lose this shit, you know. You don't want to lose those relationships.
So the other outfitters in your area, like you said, you were the YouTube guy, and now all of a sudden you're, you know, the new kid on the block. So a lot of animosity.
Yeah, like I honestly, to be quite honest, there's only two that I don't get along with. I get along with everybody else. And one of them, we haven't liked each other ever since right out of high school, when we probably both started hunting geese around here. Lots of personal shit back then, but probably only two. And then there are the locals. You know, you lease stuff up. You know, anymore. Last year, most of our bean fields, if it was dry land, they didn't get cut. They did not get harvested. They got insured, and if they did cut them, they left strips in there so the insurance man could go out and make sure that they weren't lying about it. But the beans hurt a ton of farmers last year, big and small. And these folks, especially locals, they don't understand. They're not understanding that business, no matter what it is in this world, it will grow. It will grow. The population will keep increasing. Social media, like these fucking phones, are going to keep marketing people easier, more accessible, and shit's going to grow. And the man, that farmer that has allowed you to hunt with your dad and all this stuff, he's got to make money, man. And when you offer the guy $1,000 for the morning, who would say no? Who would say no? Right. So that's one thing that and I've ran into some older guys, unfortunately, that I've known of, and they're got animosity. I think the YouTube channel, it makes it different a lot of times. Either you're great or you're shit to people. There's really no in between, because they've either known about you, and so they either like you or they just fucking don't. And for example, like this year, there was one dad that called, and he goes, "Why are you out there harassing my boy and his buddies?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, they fucking called me and told me, I'll whoop your ass, blah, blah." I'm like, "Dude, who are you?" And he told me his name, and I knew his brother. I'm like, "Okay, what are you talking about?" He was like, "My kid said that you harassed him while they were hunting." I was like, "What day was this?" He told me. I said, "Okay, was it this field?" He goes, "Yep, that's where they're hunting. See, I knew you knew." I was like, "No, I was scouting from the road. Sir, they were a fucking half mile in the middle of the section. How in the fuck would I be talking shit, for one?"
Right.
I seen him hunting. I had no idea who it was. I was scouting, or I was driving around. I never even stopped. So when people don't like you as a YouTuber, they love to blossom things. And then when you get these immature minds, that's Bobby's truck going by, and then they fucking just blow it. It's what kids do.
Right.
They exaggerate things to dad, and now here comes dad, So being the transition of the YouTube thing, I've tried to do my best to show my community that I'm doing this for all the right reasons. So I'm part of the Reno County Cancer Council, and we donate a ton of hunts and everything we can every year, and that stuff spreads like wildfire, especially through farmers in our rural community. There's a lot of farmers I've met that shake my hand. Like this last year had been great. We got up north into a new area, and they been waiting to meet you. Man, we've had geese all year. I've heard about you from Tom down the road. You hunt on him. Why haven't you came over here and knocked on my door? So just treating the man right, keeping your word. Back to the young ones and the shitty ones, man. I don't know how many times I've encountered it just this last year of guides saying that they're not guiding. And they say it's just buddy hunts, and those guys, a lot of those farmers, we hunt on too. And they don't want to be leased from. They like kind of an open door where anybody can come pay at any time, which I don't blame them. But do I call that farmer and tell them right away that they're fucking guiding? You're damn right I do. They have the right to know.
Right, yeah.
You're out there making money on their shit, So that immature state of mind, man, it's going to do nothing but hurt you. If you're that broke and you can't afford the day, then you shouldn't be doing it. Do
you guys have like an outfitter program up there? Like, do you have to have like an outfitter's license from the state? Nothing?
I wish, dude. I wish. Patiently waiting.
Because that's something that's coming up here. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it or not, Jeff.
I can talk about
that's something that Jeff has been invited to Austin, which is where all decisions are made, to kind of give his take on whether or not Texas should have it. And there's kind of two ways to look at it. I mean, we were just bitching about the government, and any government involvement
is not good usually.
Can, not be a good thing. So I don't know, but it would be good to keep some of the riffraff out.
My opinion on this is we need a policy and we need to police the outfitters, but we don't need government involvement. But that's kind of a double-edged sword. I don't think it's fair to make an outfitter license so expensive that a young kid that's wanting to start a business or an old guy wanting to start a business, and they can't afford $500 to $2,500, $10,000 to buy a guide license. So I don't think money should be a deterrent on it, but I think everyone should have to have $1 million liability policy. I think everyone should have, and not everyone here is CPR certified, but I would hire a lady to come here, a doctor to come here, and to give us all first aid training, taking 4 hours probably to go through the just basic stuff. So we have that in case something happened, and just some standards. And I think if you should have to, on your website, should have to provide any documentation of any tickets you've ever had as an outfitter. I'm 30 plus years in. I've never had a game violation in my entire life. It's something I'm proud of. I know some guys that have had a game violation that are good outfitters. They just had a day that either a guide went somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Things happen. But that should all be transparent for everyone to see. And in the state of Texas right now, we got a kid selling hunts out at Lubbock that got caught for shooting some whooping cranes. He shouldn't be fucking guiding hunts. Then he got in trouble after that again. Well, there's got to be there has to be some standards. And if you get caught trespassing is my biggest thing, because there's a lot of that goes on around Lubbock and south of here around Abilene area. A lot of these guys doing these crane hunts are trespassing, and they get caught all the time. And all the game wardens were doing are babysitting, and that's not a game warden's job to have to be breaking up fights between outfitters who's going to the wrong places. So I think there should be, but I think there should be a standard for everyone. But I don't like the idea of the government being involved. I just do not like it. But we're at the point there needs to be something done. And I'm not against $500 a year for an outfitting license. That I can live with. But I don't want to see it $2,000 or $10,000, because I don't think that's fair to the guy who's trying to get into this business. And I think they should have the same opportunity that I had when I got in years and years and years ago. But we need there needs to be some kind of accountability, because there's too many guys that get on Instagram and take a picture of some birds, and then they're selling hunts, and they're going to have one good hunt or two good hunts a year, and they sell them off all those pictures. And there's that poor guy that wants to take his kids on a hunt, that books a hunt, and he goes and it's not a good situation. Well, that same guy may come here and have a bad hunt also. We have bad hunts. We hunt every day. Oh, yeah. We have bad hunts, but we work our ass off to make sure you don't. But it does happen sometime. Right. That other guy, he's having a bad hunt 5 out of 6 days, but you don't know that. And so I don't know the answer is, but there needs to be some kind of accountability. I just wish the government wasn't involved to do it.
Yeah. Here in Kansas, I think it's pretty by now, pretty figured out. Um, Kansas has always been a whitetail state. Um, all emphasis has always been on whitetail. The only thing that we've ever seen change in waterfowl here recently, they extended a couple zones, open for duck season the first week of January, and that was extremely new. Because that's a lot of times, it's how it is. Well, we have a stupid split from January 1 to about the 19th on ducks and specs, and the specs can suck, but the ducks, that's what people want, and it seemed like every year when we finally get the actual north cold, the real north cold, that's when our big ducks finally get here. Is that January 1st time. And they've changed some things. They've done some species limit adjustments, but I don't even need to say knock on wood because we don't fuck up. We don't break the law. Birds are tagged in the field, transportation cleaned. There's no wait. Nobody even goes in the lodge and eats fucking lunch before them birds are cleaned and processed. So I believe that there should be, whether you want to make a class, whether you want to make whatever, an online course, but some type of shit where Bobby guy's the owner, CEO of Sandhill Flyways. He will be held liable, sign here. And that would cut a lot of the bullshit out because just having emphasis and acknowledgement, not that you have to police it more, just an agreement, just like, hey, I solemnly swear type of thing, would hold you contempt inevitably if you disregard that law. And I think that money, the licenses, I truly believe, and I know I have a buddy renting my lodge right now for his turkey outfit. He'd probably cuss me out for saying this, but I wish we were like South Dakota, North Dakota, whatever, where you got to be a resident. I would like to own and operate. I truly believe that. And if you're not a resident and you want to go run your snow goose hunts in other states, and they require the same thing, you have to. Okay, now there might be some money that will have to be traded, or you have to pay some money to go to other states. But the resident thing, at the end of the day, the main people that I'm worried about in all of this really isn't myself. If I was to say, well, and I made up all these excuses of me, it would sound like me, and me being selfish. The one person I worry about is the fucking landowner and farmer. Seeing them get dicked is an absolute something that a fellow American should never do in their life, is screw a fucking farmer or a landowner. So back to the immature ages, they don't get it. They look at a field just like a dirt field. Right. They don't understand. They've never been a farmhand. They never, anyways, the landowners need to be protected, number one. And I think, again, some type of agreement you sign here. If you trespass, I think that there should be a law where you have to legally state that to that landowner or farmer that you are in fact an operating guide service. I will have out-of-state residents or out-of-state folks in your field tomorrow. That should be a legal thing for those landowners to know for liability purposes. Mm-hmm. So now let's get in insurance companies and all this other political shit. They should know exactly what's going on their land. It should be illegal to do anything. That's but I don't honestly, I would be up for anything because there's nothing. There's no barriers. There's no parameters. And to be quite honest, going back to how I started this, knock on wood, we've never been, I don't have to knock on wood, but we've never been fucking checked. Ever. The only time we were checked was on the accident because 15 responders had to show up, right? And there are obviously going to be a couple game wardens.
Right.
That's the only time. We don't have any game wardens. And the ones that we do, they're focused on whitetail, and they're focused on the public hunting areas like Cheyenne Bottoms, Quivira, Cheney, all these lakes. You know, that's their home base. That's where they have to go. They don't have the time for as many of them as there are, literally, per county. There might be one.
Right.
Maybe. I know there's a couple counties where there's the same one for like 2 or 3 fucking counties. How is he supposed to come here? You know, oh, there's a bunch of birds. We better patrol this area. And then the hand-me-down information coming from, you know, older aged game wardens handing down that information saying, hey, these are the hot spots on these year. You need to be checking people. That shit just doesn't happen. And I believe we should be checked. We should be checked for God's sakes, you know? So again, back to Kansas, it's a whitetail state, and they just, I think, I don't know if there'll ever honestly be any emphasis on changing anything waterfowl related. Right now, they're doing, the only thing they're looking at is the public hunting on non-residents. It's supposed to go into effect this year or next. I think this year, I believe, where non-residents hunting public will only be allowed. It's either Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or something like that every week. So, you know, thank God we don't hunt. We can't hunt public, obviously. But those things, I think, again, knowing the whys, Kansas is ranked 48th or 49th in the nation for, and I know my terminology is going to be a little off, but you'll get what I'm saying, for public water access. 49th. So what's happening is the federal government and Ducks Unlimited, all these things bond together, the state, wildlife and parks, these birds don't have any time to rest. And that's why this non-resident issue is being brought up and changes are being made because of resting birds. A lot of our birds, you know, when they arrive, are small birds, any of them, they've been traveling. A lot of them don't stop in fucking Nebraska, in central Nebraska anywhere. They go to the west side of the state, and that's your birds. You know what I'm saying? So our birds, they fly a long fucking ways. And you know, and we just don't have water. We don't have a lot of refuge options. So that's one of the main reasons why they're looking at that. And again, back to the residents, there's so limited waterfowl public access in general that guys from Texas especially do come up and hunt the same fucking spot when there's only so many spots, and I mean so many spots, every damn day. So
yeah, your birds aren't getting a rest.
It is what it is.
Your birds aren't getting a rest there.
No, they're not getting a rest at all. No. And there's just not the marshes that we have, marsh, you know, refuge habitat, especially for the ducks. There's just not enough. And even like Cheyenne Bottoms, it's got a massive its refuge pool is huge. I mean, gigantic. I don't know how many acres it is on the refuge pool, but it is fucking enormous. But just over the fucking road, almost 360 around that sumbitch, people are shooting every day. Mm-hmm. You know, they stay there because they have to.
Right.
You know, they don't have another water option to move to, not in abundance and not that big. So
how is this out of state thing going to look for like guys that want to book a hunt? Can they only book a hunt with you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever the 3 days are?
No, this is just public. Okay. Yeah, this is just public, non-resident public access. Will be limited to like 3 days a week. Well, I don't know exactly which ones, but and then right behind that, the next emphasis is going to be baiting here. We've always been able to bait for our deer and our turkey. It's not a federally managed animal. It's a state. And the cause of CBD is, in fact, heavy baiting and building communities of a deer for especially outfitting. And Kansas, if it's an outfitter that's been operating for 10 years, don't hold me in contempt to this statement, but I've experienced and went to a lot of sits on big deer outfitters, or just in general, people that have a lot of ground. What I'm saying is they don't move their feeders. Mm-hmm. They don't move their fucking feeders. And so the deer are just constantly eating shit and piss. And the reason why these non-baiting laws are coming into effect is because of poor management of your property and your feeding. It's your own fault. Right. It is your own fucking fault. CBD doesn't derive just because they go to the same fucking stream CWD. And piss. It derives from the feeder and the mud and the piss and the constant mud underneath it. And so that's everybody's own fault for not maintaining that.
So you're seeing a lot more CWD coming up that way?
A ton, especially out east. Kind of out in the Flint Hills of Kansas. Big rolling prairie, deeper valleys, a lot more water out there, a lot bigger watersheds, abundant, and huge fucking deer. And a lot of those people that own a ton of ground out that way, they don't own just a little bit. They own a lot of it. And so I've experienced it here. Yes. I'm pretty much central in the state, but out east, man, it's bad. It's really bad.
See, we've got a little bit here. Do we have any cases of CWD in this county?
I don't think so. I think it's more
East Texas.
I don't even think there's a lot in Texas.
Right.
Not very much at all. They really cut that down. I mean, if they do, they go to really extremes on it. So I don't know that much about the deer stuff, but I don't think that we have any cases that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I've experienced. I made a video. It came up to a deer and she was just standing. It was a male deer and had just lost his antlers. It was beginning of spring and we were shed hunting and standing in the creek. Like, what the fuck? Walked all the way down to it, like touched it, like hello, like knocked on its head, filmed the whole thing, and it just didn't see me. It's just standing in the water, dying. It had been standing there so long. I looked down and there were coyote tracks along the entire bank, and fucking you could see where the coyote could just barely nip and pull its fur off, and it was landing at the coyote's feet. That's how long that deer had been standing in that same spot in the fucking water. So you go to any stream out that way, deer go to water when they die, preferably. And dude, any stream, man, that's where you're gonna find your sheds.
Right.
So usually they're dead heads.
That's
so,
crazy.
Lots of dead heads.
That's freaking wild.
Lots of dead.
Did you ever get your monetization back on YouTube?
Got it back, but it's fucked. It's completely screwed.
Just because they did demonetize you and all that stuff, you just never got the reach back?
No, they reinstated the monetization. It is monetized. But it's kind of like, since they did that, it's kind of like the government, whatever small new rules come in today will impact a bigger rule tomorrow. Same thing. They reinstated it. The pay, the first year, it's been, like 3 years? I think it's been 3 years since that happened. The first year, the pay annually was probably down 60%. The second year, 70%. This year, you're looking, it's worthless, to be quite honest, like worthless. Like $600 a month, from YouTube and Google, to put up videos all month.
And it was just because you were a hunter?
It was the last selection.
Right.
It was their last election year, and that's when I just forgot their YouTube channel name, but they're a big whitetail turkey channel, and can't remember.
Oh, we lost you again.
They got demonetized.
There you go.
They got demonetized, and then Andrew Flair, my partner who helped me with all this, he called me. He was like, "Dude, you're next. Guaranteed. This guy just got hit. This guy just got hit. They're going down the line." And sure enough, within 2 days after him calling me, telling me it was going to happen. So why they reinstated me, which Andrew got a hold of the president of Google monetization, because Andrew's big enough, 2-point-something million subs. He had enough pull to do it. I guess he had already dealt with them on some other things because they were going to demonetize him, but he actually got a warning email. I never got any type of warning email. You're supposed to get like 3 warning emails stating what is wrong and for you to correct them. They're supposed to give you 3 chances to correct them, and they never did. And I guess that guy was pretty pissed off and said he'll be green lighted tonight. Went back on there, and mind you, I was in Chicago or O'Hare fucking airport, headed to damn Cold Bay, Alaska on that trip, when we were sitting at the bar having a drink, getting ready to board an 8-hour flight, and looked at my email. I should have never looked at it, and it was YouTube. You are now demonetized. And freaking out in the fucking, just losing my marbles, like, oh my God, like I'm going on this trip. This was going to help pay for all this shit, freaking out. But once it was reinstated, it's literally too tampered with whatever switches they didn't turn back on, whatever regulations Google put in place to just simply not pay the content creator, regardless of why they were recently demonetized, because the ads are still running on the shit. The ads are there. All the same ads, movies, Cabela's, all that, Bass Pro, all that shit's there. Where's the money going?
Yeah.
Where's the money going? Because they're paying to be placed. Mm-hmm. The money's going to Google's fucking bank account. That's where it's going.
I wonder why nobody's ever started like something like an alternate to YouTube. We've talked about this before. And it's just, you see it all the time. Like we've gotten strikes on our channel. Like that was the thing. Like during COVID, we were, pretty vocal about what was going on. And, we would get strikes for saying that it was created in a lab. And now magically we fast forward 4 years and, everybody's saying, yeah, probably there's a good chance that it was created in a lab. But the strikes never get taken off of your channel. If you no. They'll get removed after a time, but like you're still always like you've been dinged. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I think that my believable answer to your question is why because I have been asked that. You can only imagine how many times. It would have to be someone like Amazon to start a new Google. Google runs the fucking world. It runs this phone that you're looking at. You ask it everything. Anything anyone has ever typed into Google, said into Google, any type of marketing programs that run through, just like when you go to buy something, do you allow cookies or not? All that shit's saved. Google is very, very smart. Google owns YouTube. So until the day that somebody creates a new Google, per se, it'll never happen, because just like Rumble, just like they don't have Google power. Google power is so embedded. Why one of back still some of my biggest videos are how to blow a duck call, how to clean your shotgun, how shotgun shells are built or are made. Google has always been a question answer. YouTube was derived to have a video how to show you how to change the tire on your 98 Explorer. You know what I'm saying? That's why YouTube was originally what was meant for. All the vlogging shit came way after all the base how to do something. you know. So all those analytics that Google possesses, they hit the nail on the head when these phones got introduced to us. You know, they were the first one to take all this information, store it, and build off of it. Other platforms, other entertainment platforms, you know. So you'd have to be Bill Gates or something.
It's going to take a big swinging dick to pull it off. And most of those guys are not in our corner.
No, like I said, Amazon. They would have to somehow, and you know, Amazon, they might possess a lot of the analytical properties that would be needed to start a new entertainment platform like YouTube, because if think of how much shit people have typed in to the search bar of Amazon. And I can tell you that they probably do save all that analytical information, just like Google always has. So if it would be anybody, if I would guess, Amazon would have to do it to make it scalable. Because like, how many channels are there in the world? Like, dude, a billion or like 800 million YouTube channels or some crazy shit. You know, how do you handle that? Like, what do you do with all that? And then besides the point, you're paying and managing all this ad placement. You know, it's got to be
that's what I always find so funny about the TikTok ban. Well, they're harvesting our data. You don't think they're harvesting your data here?
Everybody does.
You don't think you don't think?
Everybody.
I mean, it's going to China, I guess.
Your bank's selling your information,
right?
Everybody does. If everybody sells information all the time, so there's no safe alternative place anywhere to give anything. When they make you sign something, we will not sell your deal. That means they already sold that shit.
they sold it before you walked in.
Before you signed that paper. They sell your stuff all the time.
When you create a profile on Instagram, TikTok, or anything, in little fucking fine writing somewhere in there, it states that your information will be fucked. Yep. I remember Joe Rogan talking about something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was a lot of bitching about TikTok or something, and I think it was him or somebody that brought it up, stating, "Look, it says it right here, you dumbass." You know,
it's always been there.
Like, you can go to Google. Yeah, you can go to Google and type in Callaway new driver, and the next thing you know, you got an ad on your fucking Instagram story for a Callaway new driver. You know?
Or you could just think about it. That's what's crazy. Like, somebody's got some chips in their head or something. Because we were in Mexico. We were in the ocean. My wife and another couple, we were just kind of chit-chatting about different shit. And they told us about a product. And I'll be damned if we didn't get back to our phones and my wife had what we were talking about in the ocean. We weren't around our phones. Phones weren't listening to us. She had that ad. It's fucking wild. And, you know, that could be one of those things, like, has she seen it before and just, like, it never registered to her until, like, she had heard about it from them. But, like, it's just weird how you can say something in the house or say something in the car and then all of a sudden, like, you start seeing it.
It's pretty scary, to be honest, because I've got into spending a little bit of money for, you know, marketing Sandhill. With one of I grew up with her. She runs one of the local marketing agencies here in my town, and she's extremely smart. And she was like, "Bobby, I can literally, I can see everything you like. I can see how much you owe on your house. I can see everything. I can see your recently purchased shit."
Whoa.
And then I actually did ask her. I said, "Ashley, what about the whole your phone listening to you thing?" She was like, "How much money you want to spend?" And I'm like, "Seriously?" She's like, "Absolutely."
Wow.
I'm like, "No fucking." So, you know, I don't believe she was joking.
How much money do you want to spend? Holy shit. And, you know, like, there's companies that have endless pockets. So it's like, let's fucking pay it. Put our product in front of these people's eyes. As many as you can. We don't care what the tally is. Just send it. Jesus.
People, the amount of, like, dude, I'll admit it. I buy a lot of my, like, hats, t-shirts, joggers, shoes, hunting, like, I like lightweight hunting, like leather boots, waterproof ones. Dude, I bought all that new shit that I love now and wear all the time off Instagram
Right.
ads.
Yeah.
It learns what you like, man. And like guilty spending on that thing is easy, you know. It's easy. Some stress spending fucking mid-season where you're just not wanting to talk to anybody. You're laying in bed having a Brutus and you just start crying and buying everything you see. Yeah.
Right.
But,
So
it's these little devices are a lot smarter than us. I'll tell you right now.
It's scary where it's all going. So you're back into fitness, you said, and I've seen some of your Instagram stuff. You're hitting the gym a lot more, and it's kind of got you in a better state of mind.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. I'm not scared to admit I drank too much beer for way too many years. I think one huge problem that I've had ever since starting the YouTube channel, honestly, not just the guiding. I think it got worse with guiding because you miss the boys being here and you miss that daily, even though it's a grind and you're tired, like when it's gone, it's like, fuck, what am I going to do now? And coming out of the season for me has always been a very, very large struggle. I make my money, I support my family during that time, but damn, do I love being busy like that. I love deriving the plan and all those things. And a lot of years I have struggled with boredom, not keeping myself busy. Unfortunately, maybe some, lower, just depressing times, whether it be spring and summer, just not being full throttle, because I love being full throttle. And I found myself just drinking too much nonsense fucking times of day, just beer. I'm not a liquor guy or anything. But this year I was like, I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to do it again. Now my kids are getting older. They're 6 and 9, and I'll be damned if the one thing that they're going to remember most of Daddy is that, yeah, Daddy always had a beer in his hand. So I'm 37 and being I'll have a drink when we go golf, a couple beers, but alcohol over the last 3 months, and I'll be honest, it's not very long, is not a priority anymore. And I feel so good, like my mental clarity, my patience with my children, like they deserve the best from their dad. My presence, I want to be in that house a lot now. I don't even want to come back here and see anybody. I don't. So it has the transition. I was always told, and you read these inspiring memes and shit, like I remember I got on a TikTok thing where looking at dads pages where they were just stopped drinking and how much they loved it and this and that. And it's true. When you take care of yourself and you watch what you eat and you're physical, when you work out, that doesn't mean you're trying to be the next Arnold out here. It just means you're pushing yourself. You feel so good. And I honestly thought that dropping beer was going to be the death of me. I was like, because it's just routine. Right. If I'm mowing, I got a beer. If I'm home and it's past 4:30, I got a beer. And I feel way more human than I have in a very long time. And it's amazing. Like all of my buddies, I'm like, come on, dude, like, let it go. Like, just let it go. You have your moderations. But damn, it got to be too much, and I feel awesome, man. I encourage everybody to push yourself. You will be a better person. Like, you will feel better. You will be a better father. You will be a better husband. You will be a better brother. Everything.
Yeah.
So.
And there's always I struggle also. Not struggle. I'm going to put that in air quotes, but like, you always miss something. February is a tough month. Weather's usually shitty. Football's over. You've been operating at kind of this hum level for the last, we opened up September. So like you've kind of always had a buzz for like 6 months, always had something to do, always had somewhere to go. And then February gets here. The podcast has really changed that because it keeps us on some sort of schedule. But like before the podcast, like I could remember hunting season would end and it'd just be like, fuck, how long until the next one, you know? And I could see what, it'd be easy just to kind of, like you said, you started drinking at 4:30 and then like all of a sudden now it's like 1:30 and you crack that first beer.
Exactly. I'm not ashamed to admit it because I'm a much bigger, better person now because of it. And I think one theory that, waterfowl hunting, me and Cole Townsend were talking about this literally just yesterday. He was like, why are waterfowl hunters and guides some of the most fucking unhealthiest people? And I'm like, well, number one, the fucking schedule is insane, during it. And I was like, number two, this is the kicker. The people that want to drink beer every day, the people that don't give a fuck about their diet, the people that don't give a fuck about their physical conditioning or their mental state are attracted to waterfowl hunting because it just doesn't matter.
Right.
Waterfowl hunting, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not going to cut your hair for 4 months. You're not going to shave your balls for 4 months. You're going to take a fucking shower once a week, maybe, so
it's easy to let things go.
Right. And you see a lot of big game hunters, just going to use Cameron Haynes as a prime example, just because everybody knows him. A lot of fucking big game hunters are trying to be like Cameron. He is a great influence, man. Anybody that talks shit on the guy, anybody that talks shit on someone that is honestly changing people's lives for the better, physically, mentally, go fuck off.
Right.
Because he is a great example of not being the Barstool Outdoors fucking page and showing you how cool it is to fucking get drunk every day. There's a time where us adults, men and women, you got to fucking change. It's not cool anymore. It shouldn't be cool anymore, especially when you have babies and a wife that depend on you. And making excuses just because you're bored or you don't have anything to do or depressed, you're depressed because you're not making better decisions for yourself. And it kind of goes, I was talking to a buddy today about it. I was like, man, I'm trying to get him in the gym. He's a bigger guy. He's wanting to. And he's done the cold plunge challenge. He does that a lot. And I'm like, it's the same thing as working out. You're pushing your body to do something forcefully and very uncomfortable at the beginning of the day. The rest of the day is going to be so fucking easy. It's going to be so easy. Mentally, everything else looks small the rest of the day. And I think that's one of the best representations that I can use to say how much better I personally feel and anybody would if you get out of those awful fucking habits. I'll probably be drinking beer during the season again with the clients, and I want to spend time with them, but I can promise you right now, it will be in moderation. It will not be, there will not be an excuse again. Well, it's hunting season. What else am I going to do? Or, well, we had a bang up day. We're celebrating. There's not going to be these stupid fucking excuses anymore. Because I feel amazing. I haven't felt this great in my adult years, I don't think, to be very honest.
That's awesome. It really is. That's awesome. Listen, man, we've gone almost 2 hours here. So, keep doing what you're doing out there. You're going to have haters that come along, and it sounds like you're in these things for all the right reasons. And, I'm glad that you've turned this into like a healthy obsession with your fitness and everything and getting things back on track. So family's number one. That's most important. So I'm proud for you in that aspect. So if there's ever anything that we could ever do for you in the future, just don't hesitate to shout out or shoot a text or whatever, and we'll always be there for you.
Right on, man. I appreciate you guys, and you guys do a hell of a fucking job, and it's awesome to see you guys still at it and growing, and hopefully we can cross some paths sometime soon, maybe at a show or something.
That'd be awesome. That'd be really awesome.
God bless you, Bobby. Take care of yourself and be safe, my friend.
You too, brother. I appreciate it.
Bye. The great Bobby Guy.
Good dude.
He is. Man, I can only imagine, you put yourself out there and, there's going to be haters.
Yeah.
And, when you've got that big of a following.
Only people that are haters are people that are successful.
Yeah, you'll never meet a hater that's doing worse than or doing better than you.
Nope, never, ever, ever. They don't care.
So
kind of like hearing the USA chant. You'll never hear that at a Democratic meeting.
There you go. Don't know how that relates, but good job. You've come full circle, Jeff. You made it political.
Just reading some shit going on in the courthouse today. I cannot believe we're going through this in our country. It's terrible where our country's come from. Those poor guys that went to storm the beaches in Normandy did not sign up for this shit. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great week.
Love you. Bye. Check out all of our sponsors. Go check out Mallard Bay, Hemp Hill Farm. Use the promo code BHP25. Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Stanfield Outfitters, Mossberg, Double T British Kennels, Ducks Unlimited, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, Boss Shot Shows, and MLR Graphics.